We are live, and this is a UFL T.S.D.N live show, and the co-host Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. We have a very special guest today, uh, James Shiver of the Louisiana VooDoo. Welcome, Coach.
Can you hear us, Coach Shiver?
Coach, can you hear us?
I think you're on mute on your end. There you go. There you go.
All right, Coach, can you hear us?
He's muted now. There you go. Okay, Coach.
Coach, can you hear us? How's your mic? Can you hear us, Coach?
All right. All right. So we having a little bit of technical difficulties hearing the coach. Can you?
Can you hear us, Coach? Coach.
All right. I don't know what happened, but maybe he'll log back in.
Yeah, because it's unmuted.
Well, at least we know we had him. We had him, folks. But
Yeah.
the people are listening. This is live TV at its finest. So just hang in there. Don't worry. We're gonna get Coach Shiver back on for the Louisiana VooDoos. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we're gonna make sure we have a great show for you. He probably just had some technical difficulties there on his end, but I swear to you, we had him live before we went live. We could hear him.
Yes, we did. We had him here. He was here. Where where he went, I know you disappeared on me earlier there, Alan. So, but
Yeah,
I'm excited about this. I'm
yeah,
excited about having the coach on. You know what I mean? And oh my God, where is he? Where is he, Coach Shiver? Where are you, buddy? I'm getting comments here too, Alan. So some
what,
comments coming in.
what did they say?
Hi guys, lots LOL, lots of love.
Okay, yeah, we appreciate the support.
Yeah,
We
thank you
had him
guys.
on here, and I don't know what happened. I hope he logs back in. In fact, let me send Coach another quick message here to log back in.
Yeah, this is live TV, and I'm getting Aaron Aaron Foot saw him. Yeah, thanks guys. We saw him too. He was here.
Yeah, I swear we was talking to him. In fact, we didn't want to get too far into it because we wanted to make sure you guys heard everything that we went live, and lo and behold, we went live, and I guess he couldn't hear us.
This guy is Arena Foot. He's the owner of the LA Voodoo Magic Fan Club. Thanks for coming in. There he is.
Okay,
All right, Coach.
now we can't see him. There we go. There we
Coach,
go.
can
There
you?
we go.
Right.
All right.
Oh, can you
Perfect.
hear us?
It does
Yes.
work. It does work, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does work
Oh my
now.
God, we got you. We got you.
That's
Oh, we
right.
thought we lost you.
Yes, sir.
We have Arena Foot here giving us comments. The owner of the LA Voodoo Magic Fan Club.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is cool.
Yeah,
Well,
we got a
this
good fan club. We got a good fan base, man. I mean, for just coming back from being out for a few years, huge fan base, great following on on Facebook and and Instagram. It's really going good in Lake Charles.
I love it. The Voodoo's back, and you got some of the older teams like the Albany Firebirds are back, the
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Soul.
Yeah, great
But
tradition, man. Good
oh
tradition.
yeah, I know. Well, the AFL has been around for a long time. I mean, I don't think people realize it's been around. I used to watch with my father. Like I said, there's a nostalgia to it. I mean, if you guys remember the New York Dragons, years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they had. I got a little trivia question for you guys too. Do you remember this receiver? He played in the XFL in 2001, and he actually played for the AFL in 2001, and he played for the Orlando Rage of the XFL in 2001. Do you guys know who this receiver is?
I don't think I do, but the Rage were my favorite team. I love their helmets. Remember they had the fist on them? You know?
Oh, cool. Jeff Brown,
Yes.
one of the
That was him.
toughest quarter. He's the quarter coach of the Louisville now, isn't he?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, but that receiver was Kevin Swain, and I
Mm.
just found that out because I was watching some of the older AFL games back with the New York Dragons and watched them. I didn't realize they were that good, and he played with that team for I don't know how long it was, but he was
Mm.
there after he must have left the XFL and went over to the AFL. And like I said, I love the AFL. I'm excited about it, Coach. I am.
I'm excited too. I think everything's going great. It's just it's how it is. Everything's getting tight now. I mean, the time is coming short. It's real short. So we're getting everything rolling. A lot's going on in a little bit of time. We have tryouts coming up. Dance team trials are coming up. I mean, it's almost like we're on a different conference call every day about what we got to do here and there and everywhere. So it's coming together, man.
That's
Yeah,
great, coach.
that's why I was so excited to get you on here because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be busy here the next couple months here.
Oh, it actually started a couple weeks ago. It's been really, really busy. The one thing that's really it's kind of like that's it's slowing us up is our arena isn't used to hosting things like this. So we go live with our ticket sales link, and the arena isn't ready to do that, and all of a sudden it all goes like kaput. And so now they're reworking their system to be able to catch up to our system, and it's just arena, like you said, arena football's been around for a long time. It's almost down to a science. And so we're doing what we want to do, like almost like algebra one, and our arena is still doing geometry. So
Yeah,
but we're gonna get on the same page eventually, and that part's gonna take care of itself. But it's almost like I said, man. Compared to the other teams, like I know that Albany was around last year, Orlando was around last year, but for the most part, we're all basically expansion teams. We're all starting from scratch. With these huge payrolls, and we're trying to bring in these players and former USFL, XFL players, UFL players, and other players like that. Anybody we can get our hands on, and it's just it's a lot of recruiting. That's what we do a lot of. It's been almost 2 months of recruiting. You guys can see our roster. It's on the website. But just to say, I mean, listen, it's been a lot. I mean, thank goodness for Chris Hempill and Corey Diaz, some of my assistant coaches, getting out there and recruiting and finding players and mostly just talking to players. And it's really cool because we have like a What's Up app, and we all the players that are signed, we're always talking about what's going on next, and future playbooks coming out, and what day you report and everything else. So it's really getting exciting. It's that time of the year where it's getting exciting.
yeah. I was watching the interview with Andre Sale there. He was on Shady Sports Network there,
Yes.
and he's got a good attitude. But he's a local guy, isn't he?
Yeah, most of our team are local. Somehow, some way, 90% of our team is affiliated with Louisiana. It might have been that they didn't have any college or high school affiliation. It might have been the New Orleans Breakers. It might have been
Yeah,
they got picked up by a college like Louisiana Tech, or somehow, some way they're associated with Louisiana. And it's almost cool, like you said, Andre Sale. I talked to him the other day. He was in New Mexico skiing. But he was from Louisiana. The hurricane ran him off. Went to Arkansas. Ended up going to Tennessee Tech, and came back to LSU. Transferred to LSU to finish out his time with Joe Burrow. So he had to learn something there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then our other quarterback is in New Orleans, and he was in the famous Catholic League, which is like the district in New Orleans, the big district with John Curtis and all the big high schools. And so
yeah,
they actually, a lot of our players are from that district, so they're working out on a field in New Orleans almost every day now. So I mean, a lot of our guys are just posting their workouts, telling us what they're doing, and we just keep telling them, get ready for training camp, because when you come in, you're gonna have to report, and you're gonna have to do your conditioning check, So it's just real fun, It's like it's almost like a dream, coming from I'm a high school coach for the last 20 years, to go back into arena ball, because it's been 15 years since I coached it. So going back into it, it's almost like, well, these guys actually take care of themselves. I don't have to go make sure they're doing their workouts. So it's just been good, really
Hey,
good.
Coach Shiver, I thank you again for joining us on the UFL Fan Den. I have a question for you. You mentioned earlier you have a tryout. What specifically are you looking for at these tryouts? Positions or players?
Well, in 1998, I played indoor football for the first time in the old PIFL, right? And so I remember signing a contract, and I went to a tryout, and with a guy. Our head coach was Buford Jordan, that had played for the Breakers and played for the Saints. I don't know if y'all remember his name, but Buford, a guy showed up at the trials, and he ran a 4.140. Buford stopped the trial. He said, "Hey, let's measure that. There ain't no way that's 40 yards." We said, "Coach, it's turf. It's marked off. It's 40 yards, right?" So he says, "Go run it again." Kid runs it again. Another 4.140. It was Mike Lewis, the beer man that played for the Saints, the punt returner, kick returner, all pro
Yeah.
for the Saints. So he told him, "Go sit down over there, son. You got a contract." That season, in 14 games, Mike had 27 kickoffs returned for touchdowns. So I'm that guy who knows that there could be a diamond in the rough. I mean, hey, this is Louisiana. There's a lot of football talent in Louisiana, and we're actually 30 miles from Texas. So we're gonna hit into Houston area, and all that area. So we're in a good location to find a lot of talent. So anything could come through. We have a lot of coaches coming to help us to run the tryout. So we're not going to miss anything.
Yeah, and I like the colors. I like the new black and white uniforms. I like the helmet. The helmet looks good. I like it just as good as the old,
Yes, sir.
uniforms and colors. Although I can't get away. I remember watching the VooDoo back then when they had the purple uniforms and they had the helmet. The
Yes.
logo was just something that was, right there. You know what I mean? In their halftime shows was pretty cool.
Well,
I
their
like.
logo was one of the top. I mean, I remember reading an article, and all of minor league sports was one of the top logos in all time. And the red and the purple really went well together. The owner of our team is a huge black and gold fan. You know what I mean? And so that's why he wanted us to be black and gold. The helmet that is posted on the website, we actually have 3 different experimental versions of the helmet coming along. There was one that we took the headset off of the skull and put them on the helmet, almost like like feathers coming back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things we don't know which one we're going with yet. But it's going to be cool. Arena football is known for having flashy helmets, and so we want to make sure we have something flashy for the fans.
I love it. I love it. I think they're going to be cool. I know there's a yellow and black uniform too. A
Yeah.
home uniform. That's the home uniform, right?
So actually they haven't let this cat out of the bag, but it's coming soon. We're going to have different uniforms for every game, and our colors won't change a lot, but it's going to be basically like, I know there's one uniform they were talking about, Cinco de Mayo night, because they're having a game on Cinco de Mayo, so you can get ready. I think we're going to come out in green and red and things like that. I mean, so
Oh,
it's going to
cool.
be cool, man. I mean, it's going to be cool. And it's going to be a different coach's swag every week, and so I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, I'm gonna have a closet full of VooDoo stuff whenever it's all over.
I love it, Coach. And man, I'm telling you, this is what Al and I were talking about with the spring leagues. I don't know why people don't want to get behind it and support. I mean, I know they do, but get out there and go. I mean, if you want these leagues to exist, you know what I mean? Look, we were talking about the UFL and the XFL USFL merger there with the UFL, and I've reached out to players and people from the UFL, and they don't answer me back. I'd like to get them on the show and stuff. That's why I think the AFL is really good, because I like you coming on here. I did not know if I could get a hold of you. When I got a hold of you and said you were going to come on, I was so excited. Me and Alan we were talking about it for probably 3 or 4 days on and off. We were so excited, man. I think that's what it is too, having accessibility to the players and the coaches and talking with one another, and I think the fans love that. You know what I mean? You get them out there so they can meet you guys and stuff.
Well, this is a fan-friendly league. I mean, we're fan-friendly. After the game, the fans come down the field and get autographs and things like that. I mean, that's what we do, and that's, if you want to keep your market popping, that's what you have to do. But I'll tell you this: I don't ever turn down an interview. I'm here for the press. Good or bad. If I make the bad call and you want to talk to me afterwards, I'm here to get chewed out. I mean, that's my job, right? I was telling somebody that the other day. I said, if the power goes out at your house, right, you don't go to the CEO of the electric company and chew him out, right? But if I lose the game, somebody's coming in my office tomorrow to let me know about it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
job. That's what I signed on to do. You know, and I tell everybody that when I go to Rotary clubs and stuff, I say, look, I'm here to be accountable, man. I mean, I'm here to put on the best that Lake Charles has to offer, and we're gonna do that. I mean, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fast paced. We're gonna score a lot of points this year. I mean, we got some great coaches, man. I mean, I read an article last night, top coaches in the Arena League, and I'm reading about these guys who were former players who all of a sudden now, like I guess they know how to coach, right? You know what I mean? Come on, man, that don't always happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, you might have been a great player, but that don't mean you can tell the guy next to you how to be that kind of a player. You know?
Right.
So
Right.
this is what I do. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. And so I feel like we're just as good as any team in that league. Our roster stacks up just as good as them. And if they think that I'm going to lose the games for us, they're in a real bind. I mean, the rest of the AFL needs to be on notice. The VooDoo's coming.
Yeah,
The
Coach.
VooDoo.
In fact, I wanted to ask you that. You getting this opportunity to coach again, being that you've been in high school, having a break and coming back with this opportunity. You personally talk about that transition.
Oh, that's a crazy transition. In 2005, I was the head coach of the Montgomery Maulers, and we go to the conference finals, man. And my life at the time was only indoor football, and I was thinking, man, I'm going to the next thing. Well, at the end of the playoff game, we lost. We're driving home, and I get a phone call from the San Jose SaberCats, and I'm going to go. They offered me to go be the quarterback coach in San Jose, and at the time, I was going through a divorce. It was kind of crazy. My life was real crazy. And it ended up my kids needed me more than the San Jose SaberCats did, so I decided to give it up. And I had my degree, so I just went on and I coached high school football back at home. Well, listen, didn't take me long to figure out if you want to get something accomplished, you got to be an administrator. So I go back and get my master's, and I get all that done. And so it's been a great ride, high school, but it was a crazy transition coming from pro players who do what you want them to do to high school players who do what they want to do. But you got to get your mission accomplished. You got to lead. You got to make young men men. And so it took me a little while to figure that out. But once I figured that out, it was great. And then I've always been like way up here with the intensity level. So coaching, I remember Buford Jordan whenever I played, he would flip tables over, headbutt you. It was awesome. He was so motivational that you'd want to play for him. So my thought process was, I'm gonna bring that to where I'm coaching. So I've always used that kind of motivation with with strong X's and O's. And then, going back to arena ball, it's almost to calm it down a little bit and realize this is a job for these guys. They're making a good bit of money, and to know up front, we're bringing in 35 guys into camp. We can only play with 24. That's my job to have to cut 11 guys, and that's not the best job. That's probably the hardest job of anything we do, And so, so I'm going to treat everybody, and I've always have, with the utmost respect. It's a business. Bob McNair said it when he bought the Houston Texans. Whenever he opened up the Houston Texans, he said, listen, I don't know anything about football, but I know how to run a business. And he said, I hire the best people, I motivate them, and I get out of the way and let them do their job. I don't micromanage. And that's me as a coach. Listen, I got some good coaches. I know what we're doing. The game plan is going to be perfect. The players are going to know the game plan. We're going to let them do their job and get out of the way and let them be successful. Hopefully we go undefeated and win this thing.
I hope so. I'm behind you. I'm behind you, man. I'll be watching every game.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just got to ask, for the people who have never been to an arena football game, I know you mentioned it's very interactive. The gameplay, what can they expect to see on the field?
Man, you're going to see some real fast wide receivers running on a 50-yard field, which, listen, if you don't understand that, it's real condensed. It's almost like I said, this is what I was saying the other day. I said it's almost like football on steroids. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to go so fast, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's nothing for us to have a 77-70 game, or something like that, because you can score a touchdown in one play. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the American Underdog with, Kurt Warner's story.
I did see that documentary.
You saw that? He finds out that he gets $100 for every touchdown pass. So the next thing you know, he's throwing touchdown passes every play, So these kids, so we have that same incentive package, So I'm hoping that, hey, we're trying to throw touchdowns every play. We're trying to have those 4-3 wide receivers on a 85-foot, about 50-yard field going full blast. It's almost like football on a hockey rink, So it's going to be fast. It's going to be, up tempo. We're never huddling. We're rolling and we're going, and no commercial breaks. We're trying to score as many points as possible.
And
Sounds
shout out
cool,
to Kurt
Coach.
Warner because of that. And you brought up a great analogy that's what springboarded him into the pros, and the rest is history. So yeah, that's an inspiring story that if somebody does play on the team, they can ball out, and you never know what the sky's the
Absolutely.
limit.
Well, Alan, so his big thing was, remember, he had a slow release,
Yeah.
and so in arena football, you can't have a slow release or you're never going to get a pass off,
Yeah.
so you have to have a quick release. And so he eventually developed that, and look what he did in the NFL, so I think it can help you. I mean, especially for quarterbacks and for defensive backs, even. I mean, you got to cover some super fast wide receivers and the ball's coming out real quick. I mean, you got to do your job. And I think that we've signed some of the better DBs in the league. And I feel like, I'll tell you this, when we play the Philadelphia Soul week 1, look out. We're coming.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I can't wait for that. I want to see Philadelphia get their butts handed to them.
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know the Philadelphia Soul won 5-6 championships there or more, but I'm a VooDoo fan, man. I am totally, hey, I live in New York State up here, but I just like the VooDoo. I don't always have, and I love the atmosphere. I mean, the fans are always good. It's that mysterious thing about them too, VooDoo. But I used to watch. I don't know if you remember this guy. He was a coach of the VooDoo back in 2011 or so. Pat O'Hara.
Yes.
I still go back and watch the Pat O'Hara show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm subscribed to the AFL network. I have all that stuff. I just subscribed to the AFL podcast there on YouTube.
Right. Yes, me too.
Got 2 videos about they just got started here a couple weeks, but they're going to be good, man. I'm going to watch it every week. I like that.
It seems pretty good. I mean, the podcast, I watched a couple of the episodes. You're right. I tell you this, we're going back with the old boneyard theme. In the end zone, we're going to have the signs up. Welcome to the boneyard. I mean, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be something exciting for the kids, and it's going to be exciting for the players. And the dance line is taking off. I mean, I had a meeting with the dance line last week on Sunday, and they're rocking and rolling. And so it's just, man, it's just, I'm just kind of keeping my hands in all the Kool-Aid and learning what everybody's doing.
Well, we want to, this ain't going to be the only episode with you. We're going to be after you when your season starts. We want to get some interviews, maybe with some players, and stuff. Like I said, we're so excited. I'm excited because it's got the nostalgia to it. I mean, like I said, the VooDoo's been around. And they were great. I love them. They were a show, not just the team, but they were a show. You know what I mean? So I love it.
Yeah, almost like the circus, man. That's what we're talking about, bringing it back. Yeah, the boneyard and the fast breaks and the touchdowns. It's going to be fun.
I love it, man. I can't wait.
And to let them know where they can go ahead and support the team. Let Coach Shiver, let them know.
So if you go to our website, and I know that they're still working on that activation, the tickets should be active now or, one day, hopefully by tomorrow. But, but you can support the team by buying tickets there, or you can buy merchandise on the website also on VooDooAFL.com. And you can also go to our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is Louisiana VooDoo Football. And we're always posting on the Facebook page. We try to keep current. If you're not moving forward, you're backing up. So we always trying to keep something posted.
That's right. And February 18th is the tryout too for
February 18th the tryout, man. And move-in day for the players that live out of town is going to be the 31st of March, and we're going to start training camp on April 1st.
No, we're going to make sure we support you. We're going to make sure that everybody knows these dates. They show up and they support. And speaking of support, before I let you go, please tell us about your wife, Virginia, and her support.
Oh man, she's super supportive. They were looking for a dance not a choreographer, but like a coach for the dance team. And so Virginia's like, look, I can do that. I can hold them accountable. I mean, she's a lawyer. She does some other things like that, and so she's really sweet to me, but she can be really mean to other people. You know what I mean? As a lawyer, So I thought she was the perfect fit, man, and so did the ownership group, and they were like, so she went out and she hired a really great Macy's, a really great choreographer, and they're getting ready to have dance tryouts. They're gonna be having the tryouts at the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles, the casino, and it's gonna be fun, man. I mean, one of my former quarterbacks, Ted Robeson, that played for me a million years ago in indoor football, is actually works at the Golden Nugget, so he set all that up for him, and it's been great going back to Lake Charles. I mean, I don't tell. I mean, I didn't tell you guys this, but in the 2000s, I coached the Land Sharks in Lake Charles. I was the offensive coordinator for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I
Right.
mean, I've been to Lake Charles before. I've actually coached in that arena before. And I've seen the fans. And listen, we had some great crowds. I mean, that's why I know it's going to sell out, man. It's going to be a sellout because so many people in Lake Charles are looking for something to support. The hurricanes destroyed the city, it ravaged the city. 2 real bad hurricanes, and there's a big, tall, like almost a skyscraper right across the street from the Civic Center, and there's still plywood in the windows, and it's been years. I mean, they just can't get all the stuff to fix the buildings, and even the TV station is still in repair, and it's been 4 or 5 years since the last hurricane. I mean, it's been a long time. So just saying, I mean, the city is looking for something to get behind, and this is it, man. I mean, every time I go somewhere, I was at my daughter's wedding the other day, and a guy walks up to me and says, "You don't know me. I'm from Lake Charles. I know so-and-so that's at your wedding, but we're huge VooDoo fans. We can't wait to go to the VooDoo game." And I'm like, "Hey, I can't wait for you to be there. Come meet me on the field after the game." So we're just super excited.
I know it. Me too.
We're excited too. We're definitely excited too that you're excited and the fans are excited and people need to go out and support. And that's a great point you made, because if you want your team to stick around, you have to support. A lot of people talk the talk, but when they say goodbye, did you do all your part to support?
It's funny. The memes on Facebook are like, "Oh, football's gone for till next year." No, it's just getting started. There's so many good spring leagues. I mean, the UFL is going to be an awesome spring league. I mean, the AFL is going to be an awesome spring league. My buddy Mike Lewis is running the UFA, which is in Mexico, and they're starting to come a couple teams in the United States. I mean, football is coming out in the spring. I mean, if you want a team, like you just said, get out there and support it. I mean, you have to. If you want something in your community, you got to support it. What we do, our coaches do, and it has been great so far. The support, when I tell you, it's been great.
Yeah. And we appreciate you, and I guess I will just ask you. This is my last one, and then Kurt will take it over. I got to get your prediction. Super Bowl's right around the corner. Who do you think it's going to be, the Chiefs or the 49ers?
Oh man, I'm going with the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. I think she's going to get it.
You going with the Chiefs? I tell you, a couple here last week, I made some predictions. I thought the Detroit Lions were going to win and the Ravens. Either one of them won.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? The only reason I'm going with the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. My daughter would kill me if I didn't go that route. So, but yeah, I really think the 49ers, man, that was a great comeback. At halftime they were really down. And they came back against the Lions, and so they do have a wonderful team. I mean, both teams are great. They wouldn't be in the Super Bowl if not. But I think the Chiefs pull it out.
I think so. Although they look like robots, San Francisco 49ers, they look like they're hell-bent on winning. I don't know.
I think so too, yeah. It can go either way. It should be a great one to watch.
Yeah, I think so.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But we appreciate
I was going to say something. Because the UFL went down, they had 16 teams. They went down. So all this talent pool has shrunk down. So they're going to be heading your way, Coach Shiver.
That's right.
So I've been on the phone with them night and day for about the last week and a half, and then we're waiting for cuts whenever they do their cuts in the next week or two, where the UFL starts cutting people. In Lake Charles, I don't know if you guys know Trey Quinn. Do y'all know Trey Quinn that played in Michigan? He played for Michigan in the USFL last year. He's a wide receiver. Okay. Well, Trey went to LSU. So I talked to him pretty often. I mean, we tried to sign him, but he actually played for Michigan. Then he went to the Detroit Lions off and on during the season, and he wants to go back to the UFL. But man, we really were chasing him because in Louisiana he was the all-time leading receiver in high school. So we were trying to get him, and he's a local guy from Lake Charles. But he also points me in the right direction for people that he knows that got cut that could play for us. And things like that, or that didn't get picked up in the draft or whatever, and we've been signing some of these guys, so it's soon coming out. I mean, we have a couple signings that we have that we're not ready to post just yet, but it's coming.
Well, there's I think it's Max Borghi was going to play for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to come on. They're still waiting for AJ McCarron,
right?
Jordan Tiamo. So who knows? Coach, it might be heading down your way.
That's what I'm thinking, man. And hey, listen, the VooDoo is hiring. Y'all come and give me a call, man. I'm not hard to find.
That's right. That's exactly right. We appreciate you joining us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Kirk, y'all know I'm not hard to find. They can find me. So.
Oh yeah, I talked your head off, Coach, and I'm sorry, man.
Oh no, man. I'm glad you did.
I
Yes.
just wanted to get you on here, man. It's
Yeah.
like I'm very proud that you came on, and
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all
Thank
so
you
much.
for being with us, and
Mhm.
definitely much success.
Thanks
Definitely.
so much.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
God bless.
we will get back to you when the season starts, and we will have you get some players, man. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to an undefeated season. Maybe not, but I just
I'm
want you to
looking for
win.
the same thing. Undefeated. I'm holding the guys to that. Undefeated.
There
It's
you
So
gonna
go.
happen.
okay.
I tell you, I got a good feeling about the Andre Sale.
I think so
All
too.
right.
Yes,
I
sir.
do. I don't know. He's. I don't know. I got a good feeling about that
He's a
quarterback.
friendly guy, man. I told him he could sell ice to Eskimos, so I think he could. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
So
he does.
Yeah.
He's personable. He's like Alan in a lot of ways. He's
yeah.
got manners. You know what I
There you
mean? This is
Mhm.
why I like Alan. That's why I said, look, I got to have this guy as my co-host because he's got manners, and
He's great, man. He's a great guy. Exactly.
yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that, Coach. That means a lot to me. You too.
yeah,
You're doing big things there, and I love your enthusiasm. Don't ever lose that.
Oh, don't
yeah.
worry, man. The cup's always half full over here. We're gonna be fine.
That's
Mhm.
right. All
And
right.
All right.
I love it, Coach. And
Mhm.
um, I guess we're gonna get out of here a little bit, but this has been one great interview. We'll have better ones. We're working all the bugs off on this StreamYard
Yeah.
stuff.
It worked perfect at the beginning. I messed up a little bit, I guess, but now it's working great. So.
That's
There
all
you
right.
go.
We
Mhm.
just wanted you on the here. We just
That's
wanted you
perfect.
on.
Yeah.
We were
Yes,
not
sir.
going to close up shop until we had Coach Shiver
Perfect.
here.
I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I made
All
it.
right.
You too, Coach.
All
You
right.
All
too,
right. Y'all
man.
have a great day.
You
You do
too.
safe
I'm
likewise.
proud.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
All
Be
right, later.
blessed. Take it now. That is the one and only Coach Shiver there for Louisiana VooDoo's, and then definitely VooDoo football coming down and get those tickets, support. You want to play, like he said, there's a tryout on February 18th. I will post it up. We're going to make sure that we let you guys consistently know and give you the opportunity, but you have to support. Can't just be giving lip service. You got to support. What do you
Right.
think? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are you're right 100%, Alan. People got to get behind the teams. If you're going to watch them on TV, and if you're going to like them, like you said, don't just give lip service. Get out there, go to the games, support the team. It's the support is there. They're looking for you. Like Coach
Yeah,
Shiver
like
said,
Coach
they
said.
love it. They love the uh, fan participation. They want people in there. You know what I mean? Talking to them and this and that and signing photos. And I love it. I love Coach Shiver's enthusiasm. Alan, he's
Yeah,
so cool. I love
yeah,
it.
and that's wonderful. And you never know who you're gonna meet. You could meet the next Kurt Warner. You could meet somebody who's coming up. You never know. You got local talent too that they're trying to recruit. I love it. I mean,
Me too.
arena football, and Andrew Jamil, who played for the Orlando Guardians. We're
Yeah.
friends. He played arena football. There's a lot of great players that come right out of arena football. So the talent is there. You guys just got to come out, because one thing I don't like is, because I've come from somebody who lost the team, the Orlando Guardians, and I promoted like that crazy. Hey, don't cry when the team goes if you don't support. That's my thing.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of I missed the New York team. I like the New York Guardians when you had the New York Guardians. In Orlando. I watch them. They're gone on pause. Hopefully they'll bring the teams back. I hope so. I'm looking forward to it, but we'll see. Like I said, that we'll see, Alan, how this season goes. I mean, it's awful quiet right now. I don't hear nothing going on. So
You talking about
it's
the UFL or
the UFL, the
yeah,
AFL. I've been hearing more noise coming out of the AFL than I have UFL right now. And I was
yeah.
going to ask you, uh, did you get anybody from the UFL get back to you? I know you were going to try to contact them on Monday.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Kurt. I finally got back. The UFL did connect with me. They have given me the green light. I am going to be covering the UFL, so I'm excited about that. That's really cool. But on one hand, they said, come in, you're good. But they didn't give me much information from that. Like, there's a meet and greet that's coming up next week. I
Yeah,
don't know if they didn't answer all my questions. Am I allowed to be at that event? Now we're about a week away, and you haven't given me that on Monday or Tuesday. Now it's later in the week. So it's like, I kind of do wish there's a perfect example. Coach Shiver, more responsive. This day and age, there's no excuse for you not to get back to somebody within, let's say, 24, 48 hours max. You got to get back to people. And that's from a personal level, that's kind of frustrating. I'm not going to lie to you. It's great on one hand. They did respond to me finally. So I am going to be coming at UFL, but I to submit what you said earlier about them not returning emails and things. You're not the first, believe it or not. I've heard that from quite a few people, and that's kind of
Yeah,
disappointing.
I've tried Alan quite a few times to contact, ownership and stuff, and even players seem to be reluctant to get back to me. It takes a long time. Finally, I will get a quick email in and out, and that's all I get, and it's frustrating. You know what I mean?
I think the players don't even know what they're allowed to do. That's what I
Yeah,
think it is,
yeah,
and that's the thing. It's a lot of like a shield of quietness, and I don't understand it. I really don't. I wish it wasn't that way. This is spring football. This is something that you need to support. I've covered the Orlando Guardians, and you can even ask. I only missed one Zoom, and that was because I was sick that day. But man, I just wish there was a bit more communication flow.
yes. And you covered it. I mean, and did a very matter of fact. We got to get some of your interviews up here on the show. I'd love to put them, some of them on here because they were great, Alan. I mean, talk about good coverage, and they should be giving you guys, especially people who are that dedicated with their team, the Orlando. When you're down there, I don't think you missed anything. Like you said, that only the time you missed any interviews or anything with the team is when you were sick.
Yeah, that's that one day. And man, you know what? And even that person said that the PR contact, you had perfect attendance. I was like, yeah, trust me, I know. It's just I couldn't make it that day. And I felt bad I couldn't make it. I really did. But that was the only day I made every single press conference, every single event from the very beginning. I would have been there to this next week, the meet and greet, but I don't know if I'm allowed to be there. So that's the thing. They got back to me and said, hey, but one thing about me is I'm very transparent. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the way it is. So yes, I am coming to league, but I could have potentially covered the meet and greet. So at least you guys could have seen who cannot be there, what's going on.
You're right. We got in the chat here, we got Arena Foot where he's talking about the VooDoo is hiring, and he says, "Wow." It says the AFL is easier to access.
Yeah,
So
see, that's the thing. I appreciate that. I
yeah,
definitely
thank you,
do.
Arena Foot.
Oh, yeah, that is. Thank you so much for that. And yeah,
Yeah,
I know the UFL is going to hear this, but I'm not going to lie for someone. That's one thing about me is that my dad's, may he rest in peace. His former nickname was Honest John. So I'm just going to be transparent and honest with people. Hey, please be a bit more proactive. And it's not just me. I've heard from other people in the league, yourself, 3 or 4 other media contacts have told me the same thing. At least I got a response. Praise the Lord on that.
yeah,
A few of them didn't even get a response.
I know it. And that's what it says. AFL is easier access. Arena Foot said, "Well, that's true because we got Coach Shiver on here, and I didn't think it was going to happen. Like I said, you said you reached out, and with a little got something Monday from the UFL, but they leave you. I think the UFL ownership or people in charge, whatever they leave you with more question marks than they do answers. You're kind of waiting for more, and you don't get it unless something slips out or snicks out on you know from some of the insiders like Mike Mitchell and James Larson and them insiders of the league. I try to listen to them guys as much as I can. They have as much more details coming out than the league does.
They do. I got to give them credit, and a lot of the information is accurate. And it's like, that's the thing. It's. But I'm not an investigative reporter. I'm here to go ahead and promote the league and promote the players. I've connected with a lot of players through covering this league. The Orlando Guardians, they want to know what's going on too. So I don't like a lot of the ambiguity, not knowing the season's going to start next month. You know what I mean?
I
It's
know.
starting next month, and it'll be here before you know it. And
Yep.
you want to pack the house, and you want to make sure that, hey, people on board. You brought up a good point. I don't even know if AJ McCarron's going to be playing.
I don't think so. I think it's the pay structure, like that Max Borghi there. He was supposed to be suiting up for the St. Louis Battlehawks, but he mentioned something. AJ McCarron did quite a long interview. He was talking about the pay structure and
Yeah, I did see part of that.
uh,
Yep.
yeah, the housing. The housing was a big issue because he said, I guess the housing was going to be like a camper. They were paying for like a camper or UV type thing. They're not paying for motel rooms and stuff like that. I don't know why. I don't know what. Well, Mark Perry said on you know UFL News Hub. He said that they just don't have the money, or it's a bare bones, right down, stripped down league right now until they can start making money. And I guess that's where we're at right now.
And that's even more of a reason why you need the media to help, because you're not paying them, and it's advertisement for you where you don't have to pay. That's where you use the media to your advantage. You get them to promote the league and talk about it, and that's it's a advertising is very expensive. That's just
Yeah,
for any business. That's one of the most expensive things you can do. If you have people that are motivated to promote the league, you need to embrace that. And that's
yeah,
what I feel like the UFL needs to understand.
yeah. Me too. That's what I'm thinking too. I mean, they need to. Where is there? I mean, they don't have to spend a lot of money on advertising, really, but getting out there with the pub, go to a pub or something and have these competitions and stuff. Have the players out there, have the ownership out there, have Danny over here doing something, The Rock over here, Daryl Johnson over here. Have them guys out in the public, signing autographs. Go to a little pub and sit and meet the fans. Want to. A lot of them want to see the. I think a lot of them are going to fall away because if it doesn't get the support it needs this year, it might not be here next year.
Yeah, and that is disappointing. It is because of the fact that it is a more condensed, smaller league. As you mentioned earlier, you took 16 teams, you cut it down to 8. You would think that the 8 that you have are going to, thrive. They would not just financially, but they would have better opportunities. When you hear things of a great player like AJ McCarron, that's kind of disheartening that he has to live under those conditions. And not only that, just the fact that you got to promote. You got to get the word out there, and the opportunity doesn't stay there forever in life. You have
No.
somebody that's interested, you got to kind of keep them interested, not just kind of like have them forget you more, because then it's hard for you to start it back up once they've kind of forgotten.
Yep. It's just like with these players, some of these great players like Jordan Tiamo and AJ McCarron and this Max Borghi. He is a good running back. I
Yeah,
think he would have been really, really good. Remember, he played with the Roughnecks last year. He just,
yeah,
good player. But you lose players like that, you're going to lose a lot of fans because they want to see that. They want AJ McCarron, man. I can't remember how many yards he threw for, but
yeah.
he was really, was he MVP or was it Tiamo that was
Tiamo
MVP?
got the MVP, but AJ McCarron, man, he played some great quarterback
I
football. Shout
know.
out to AJ McCarron, because he single-handedly ended the Orlando Guardians season with that big game that they had towards the end of the season,
Yeah,
where they
I
had to
know.
rank up the points so
Yeah.
that they qualify.
Oh, I was so I kind of,
He just
disgust me,
like
but
was a Guardians killer. But to his credit, he was balling out, and his story was great. He had the RV with him and his family, and Max Borges, shout out to him too, because I did see a lot of fans were disappointed he's not coming back. I just seeing a lot of posts, multiple posts about it when the announcer came out that he's not returning. Yeah,
yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I know, and it's I can't believe they don't have the money enough to house these guys with motel rooms and stuff like that. I mean, come on, that's going to turn a lot of people off. it made me kind of disgusted there. I mean, they got to have a place to stay, man. Better than a camper or UV or whatever. Come on. And I shouldn't be doing this because I love the UFL, the XFL. I've been following this for so many years. I just feel bad for the players, and the teams that are gone right now on pause, so to speak. I miss the. I mean, I'm going to miss them. Hopefully, they can come back next year. I hope they do, but I don't know. I'm kind of worried, about where it's going right now, and I think leaving people to their own thoughts, you know, about what's going on is not helping. You got to get out there and talk to people, and let them know what you're doing. What are you doing? Are you going to be here next year? Are you going to invest your money back into these teams that are on pause? And coaches, Coach Buckley, good coach, man.
Yeah.
Really, and a human being. You know what I mean? I mean, not just a good coach, but he's a great human being. I can tell the way he is. How you get the vibe around somebody that is a really good person. And other people, you get that vibe that you don't want to be around them. But Coach Buckley, I love the guy. I could sit and talk to him for hours.
Yeah, me too. And Coach Buckley, shout out to him. I've had the pleasure and honor of interviewing him countless times, throughout covering the Orlando Guardians. And he's a genuine person. Out of everyone, I had said it on my show that out of everyone that lost this opportunity, which I feel really bad for all of them,
Me
coaches,
too.
players, people working in the office, beyond, I felt the worst for Coach Buckley because
Me too.
I know he wanted to get his get back from having that poor season, 1-9. I know he wanted to get that get back, and he's not going to. And he actually was really cool with Danny Garcia and The Rock. And it was no secret that he was one of the big promoters of the league. And I
Yeah,
felt the worst for him. I
yeah,
really
he
did.
sure was. Yeah, yeah, him and the players. The players. Quentin Normandy, and we mentioned them last week. I feel sorry. Well, at least the players, though, them guys, some of the Orlando players are getting a second chance now. The
Yeah.
coach with Buckley, Coach Buckley, I liked him. I liked him. I kind of, I was excited about the Vegas Vipers. I started following them guys. Liked, you know, uh, Coach Woodson, but then I started to see inconsistency in his coaching a little bit. He lost his temper way too many times. You know, I think I don't know. I
Yeah.
liked him. He was a great Hall of Famer and all that, but he just didn't make that what good of a coach. But I hope he's not watching this because he's gonna be mad at me. Sorry, Coach Woodson. Oh, but I was so, you know, I mean, I was so disheartened when we lost the Vipers too. But I'm hoping they can UFL can turn things around. They're both together now, and like we were talking about last year, they're united as one league. Hopefully, they can get everything uh, talked out, worked out by next season by March 30th. Because, like we said, it's coming fast, and
Yeah. I mean,
training
months go
camps
fast.
is training camps 23 days away or 22 days away.
Exactly. I do feel a sense of concern too. I'm not gonna lie, because of the lack of engagement. I know how these things work. There's a degree right there, marketing degree. you know, I know how these things work. If you don't continue to keep that fire burning, it'll get turned out, and it's much harder to start it back up. So it's not that I'm hoping bad on the UFL.
Excuse me.
I want the UFL to do good. It's like, come on, let's go, guys, let's go.
I know. I know. Let's go. Let's get it fired up.
Yeah,
Let's go. Come on, man. You got the tools. You got the players. Don't waste it. Get it done.
don't
And
get it done. That's right. You got the network, the Fox network. You have a smaller league now. People are not going to be accepting of another go around if it's not successful. That's just the vibe I'm getting. Not just what I'm getting, what I'm kind of like feeling from people that, hey, this is your last Hail Mary pass.
yeah,
This is incomplete. That's it. Game over.
that's what I'm thinking too. If you got both spring leagues, together and it doesn't make it, I don't know if it'll be back. Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe it'll be
Maybe.
back and stronger than ever. I hope so.
I really hope so too, and that's my thing. I really hope so. My goal is to promote the league, promote the players, promote the coaches, let people know more about spring football, so that they can support, because it is a market. People want to see football past the Super Bowl, and it's not a bad thing. That's a great thing.
Yeah, no, there's a room and there's a place for spring football. I
Yeah,
mean, I love it. It just continues, on from after the Super Bowl, and we know NFL and the Super Bowl and all that history of it and all that, but spring football does have a little bit of a history. I mean, you go back a little bit with the XFL and USFL, especially the USFL. They go back to the '80s. Like we're talking to Coach Shiver today, he goes back. The VooDoo goes back quite a ways. I watched it for years, and the Albany Firebirds. I was just talking to Coach Ware of the Albany Firebirds a little bit ago. He messaged me a little bit, and
yeah,
so we're working on it. Like I said, I'm trying to get other people from the UFL guys and players and coaches and stuff. I start texting. I start trying to get a hold of them, and then that's it. That's as far as it goes.
yeah. I'm telling you, I have a feeling they don't even know what's going on themselves. They don't know if they probably can do an interview. They just probably like in a deer in the headlight type of thing. For a while, I didn't know if I could promote the UFL too, so I didn't want to start posting stuff up. And if you notice, I started posting a lot of stuff recently because I got the green light on Monday. But I didn't want to do that prior to that because I wasn't sure if you wanted me to promote the league. I don't want to promote it if you don't want me to. I'm only going to go as far as you want me to do something, and that's what it goes. So I'm glad I am going to be covering the UFL. I'm excited about it. I'm passionate about the league going forward and doing well. That's the goal.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
not just surviving, but thriving.
Not just surviving, thriving. And united we stand, divided we fall. You're not united with both leagues. None of this bickering back and forth. Guys got to support. Fans got to support. Let's go.
Yep. Well, Arena Foot in the chat here says, especially with the USFL and the XFL, it says almost like oil and water mixing together, which I think that's part of this. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you got the USFL side, you got the XFL side,
Yep. Yep.
and I didn't think I would ever live to see the day that them two would merge, but here we are, and everybody's kind of like, I think first couple months there, everybody was kind of like, this. I don't know about this. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, maybe it can make it. I don't know. Like I said, we're here supporting them, and
Yeah.
that's all we can do, Alan. Support them, do our videos and do our live streams. We're here, but we want you to be here for us too when we need to
Yeah.
talk to you guys, because I mean, you can't just leave people hanging. They want to cover you, but don't leave people hanging. We got to know, people got to, especially like yourself, got to know, what am I doing? You know what I mean? What am I covering? How do I cover you when I can't talk to you? You know what I mean? It's kind of,
Yeah.
who am I talking to? How am I going to cover if I can't talk? It's strange, but this has
Yeah. And
been
it's a relationship's two ways. If you don't want me on the field, then I won't be on the field.
right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's two ways.
Yep.
That's the thing. And I got to tell the fans that I was hopeful to cover at least one of those open houses. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. As of right now, it's probably a no, but there will be other times and other events. Yes, I'm passionate to cover the league. I want you guys to thrive and do well. That's where the frustration comes into. Like, hey, relationship is two-way street. You got to give to get and get to give. It's
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
ways.
I know, and like we were talking last week. We're just talking about more participation, more coverage, more, get out there. They have the ESPN platform now. They have Fox. So get on there, and do some, ESPN. They have some coaches on there, some players, promote them a little bit. You got that platform. You got the ESPN platform. You got Fox behind you. There's no excuse to be hiding your head in the sand. And
Yeah.
now that they've merged, It's no time to be unvisible. I mean, be hiding your head in the sand. I mean, get out there, publicize. You know what I mean? Get it going. Like we said, let's go.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about the XFL that they thrived on was being transparent. This is the kind of like the anti-transparents.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's
But
it's it's a lot of social media stuff and stuff like that, like with the drafts and stuff. I want to see an actual draft, like we were talking about last week. This they are relying on the YouTube creators, they're relying on social media too much. You know what I mean? And it's not like an actual official league. I mean, yeah, I mean it is a league, but it's just more of a social media league, than it is. I mean, it drives me crazy. And like we were talking last week, I just wish they would get more structure. I mean, structure about them as a league, and it's driving me crazy. But I don't know. Hopefully, it will in the future. Hopefully, we have a better draft, and you know, they got to do things better though. That's when they have to get out there and get on these shows and talk to people and
yeah,
let people know that people in these markets, go to the cities like DC and go to have a party in DC and have some. It's an election year. Have one of the candidates come down to DC and promote the DC Defenders, man. Come, let's go. Um,
that's right. Because Coach Shiver's going to take him if you don't. You
I
see,
hope so. I hope so. I
Coach
don't.
Shiver, we had him on. He
Yeah.
said the man said he don't turn down an interview. So maybe we're we're looking at the wrong place. I don't know.
I know. Don't worry, Coach Shavers. He's waiting, man. There's some of those good players in the UFL, like Max Borghi and Tiamo and AJ McCarron. He had a big smile on his face when we mentioned those guys. They might come down, towards the Louisiana way. So if you know him, he's looking for talent all the time.
And that's a great point. Players are looking to keep active and play. If it doesn't benefit them, they're not going to play, And obviously, when you don't have good housing, that's not a good situation. But guys want the opportunity, and they know that if they can play, Kurt Warner. That's a great analogy right there. I
Yeah.
seen that for those people who haven't seen that American Underdog. I watched that documentary. I recommend you guys go see it. It is a great story. Whether you're a football fan, you believe in, think about giving up. Watch American Underdog by Kurt Warner.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't see it all the way through. I
Yeah,
watched a little bit of it, but yeah, I heard a lot about it. That's really good. Fantastic story.
yeah.
So
I mean, definitely. That's the thing. If you're not willing to give someone the business, somebody they're gonna go someplace else.
yeah, I was talking to Coach Shiver earlier too. Upstairs in my boxes, I have some old VooDoo collectibles that I have a signed ball and some VooDoo collectibles that I'll get out down the road. Maybe when we have a Coach Shiver back on, I'll get some of those collectibles out and we'll show them. And sounds pretty cool. So, what do you think, Alan? Ready to wrap her up today?
Yeah, that was a great show. Definitely we appreciate Coach Shiver coming on. That was fantastic interview. We're gonna help support. You guys need to support Louisiana VooDoos, and then definitely he got me excited to come down there myself and catch him
Yeah,
an interview on the field.
yeah, yeah. He does. He's an exciting coach. I'm telling you. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
you're not that far away from him down that way, are you? In
no, I'm not.
Orlando.
My brother lives in Louisiana, so
There you go.
yeah. See,
Alan, Alan. That is your mission. Go to Louisiana, get some players, man, for some more new interviews and stuff. That would be awesome.
yeah, that would be really cool. You know what? Coach Shiver, I got to thank him, man. He got me motivated. He got me pumped up.
Yep,
That's
you
why
got
he's the
me.
coach.
I know he got me going too, man. That's what
That's
these
why he's
spring
the
leagues
coach.
do.
He's a
And
master motivator.
yeah, he is, man. I tell you, I bet you players play for that guy. I bet you.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
before we uh, say goodbye, Ellen, I got a little video history of the old VooDoo. I had to play this video.
Okay.
We can get it up. If I can get her up.
VooDoo, running for my magic. All the fast-paced action. Fast-paced action. The big hits. There's nothing like a night out with the VooDoo. Great fun for the whole family and nothing but high-powered football action. Don't miss the next big matchup as the VooDoo fight the power. Live Friday the 20th from the New Orleans Arena. The action begins at 7, only on Cox.
Yeah.
There you go, Alan.
There you go. On that note, that's a great segue. Coach Shiver, man, that's awesome, man. That is fantastic to have him on the show, and awesome interview. And just so you guys know, that is on February 18th for the tryout, the open tryout. I will post it up too at 1000 Garden Drive, Westlake High School. Go out, support Coach Shiver. And the cool thing about it is it has their contact information on the flyer too. So you guys have everything you need. I'll make sure I share that too.
Is that awesome or what? That's
That is awesome. Like, you know what? The fine print is the contact information.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they're accessible. This is what makes it good. You know, you can talk, you know, back and forth, back and forth. I love it. All right, Alan. Thank you, my co-host friend. I love you, man. Thank you for being on here today. I had a lot of worries about today, though. I'm telling you right now, because going into this live stream, I had all these little bugs. People were driving slower. I had to go to the store. I went to the store, and people were slower. The lights were slower. So I was heading back home. I said, I gotta hurry up. I gotta get this live stream going, man. I got it. We got Coach Shiver on. I don't want to let Alan down. You know, and so I got it. I usually try to get on here at least 45 minutes before we do a live stream so I can check everything out. Because I like when it comes to these live streams and video stuff, I don't know, dumbfounded with it. I mean, I'm learning, but oh, I tell you. All right,
effort. You got it. Great job. And you know what? We made it happen. So
we got her done. We had Coach on. I love it. He got me fired up for the AFL and the VooDoo, Louisiana VooDoo this year. So I'm fired.
Me too.
And I love you, man. I'll see you the same. Yep. I love you. It's same bat time channel, same bat time next week.
You got it. I'll be here.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
Take it easy. You too.